All right, lads, welcome back to me podcast, Cheaper Than Therapy, or Therapy. Mick Thomas here. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thank you if you've subscribed, left a comment or review, good or bad. I appreciate the fact that you did take the time out. If you have any comments or anything you want to send to me, any questions you want answered or me to address anything, I have no problem doing it. Send me a message on Instagram, Mick Thomas Comedy. I'll access it there for you. But started off. It's. I don't want to start off on a bummer, but it's been a tough week for old Mick Thomas. 2 days ago, I had to put my dog asleep. My dog Sadie of 14 years, and man, it was really just hard, just heartbreaking. And I wasn't even around when it was done. You know, I was coming back from Connecticut when I got the text message and saying, look, dog, the vet wants to put her down and we might as well do it. We're here now. So, she had dementia, which, you know, I think fucking vets, man, it's a scam, right? Like, I'm sorry if you're a vet out there listening to this or you work for one, and it's like it's got to be the last profession where we can call bullshit on, right? Like a psychic, you can call bullshit on a psychic too, because we don't know what you're getting. We don't know. Oh, really? My grandmother's talking to you? What are the chances of that? That whole circus trick. Same with, like, when I was growing up, there was no such thing as dog dementia or dog cancer. Your dog just got fucking sick and he died. Or she died. Now you go to a vet and it's like, yeah, $1,000, your dog has dementia. What's dog dementia? But apparently what she was doing was that she would wake up in the middle of the night. Not apparently, it was what she was doing. She would wake up in the middle of the night and she wouldn't know where she was. You know, her left side of her eye she was blind in her left eye. She became, and in her left ear, but she was kind of going deaf. And stairs were killing her. There's a lot of stairs in my house, and stairs were killing her. And then so she would wake up in the middle of the night with dementia, not knowing where she is, not knowing, and then she would just piss and shit all over the floor. So the vet was like, all right, look at. This dog is she wakes up every single night and she doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know who you are. And she's going to give herself a heart attack. She's so old. She's going to give herself a heart attack and she's going to fucking die. So I said, right now, the best thing to do for everybody is to just put her to sleep. So we gave the go ahead, right? We gave the go ahead for that to happen. And so I was coming back from Connecticut. I was in Connecticut myself, and I got the text message, and then I came in, and of course, like, there's just tears everywhere from all the kids, and it was just, and then my son, who's a bit of a like psychopath, like he likes to see people in pain, and he goes, "Did you cry? Did you cry, Dad? Dad, did you cry?" And you could tell he had been crying, and it was weird because like I didn't, right? I was just kind of I processed, and I'm still processing it, I guess. But I was like, yeah, I was kind of sad there on the ferry coming over. I was kind of very sad on the ferry coming over, He was like, yeah, but did you cry? I was like, yeah, and that's always weird too, like, because I don't know when, like, I don't think my kids have ever seen me cry. Maybe at a movie I would have hid the tears or something, right? But I remember like seeing my dad cry for the first time. I was about, I don't know, 12, 13. And it was the weirdest fucking thing. It was like, ugh. I think he was drunk too. He was really drunk, and he started to cry in front of me and my other brothers. And we're like, oh Jesus fucking Christ! Like, what do we do with that? Quickly get away from him! Like, what? Ew! It was the weirdest thing ever. But yeah, man. And then I got back that night, and then I went and I went to Governor's there on Long Island, and I hung out with some funny friends in the small room, and we laughed it off. And then I was told before I went up it was a benefit for cats fucking raise money for cat. Like, aren't cats the one of the few animals you can drop them anywhere and they're okay? But I don't question it. You don't question the benefit that you're doing for, you know, because I was like, yeah. So I go and I get up on stage and I open up with my dog just died, and people are like, oh. Some people weren't, and some people thought, like, is this guy being a dick now? Is this guy just came up on stage because we love animals and he's being a dick? I was like, no. And I talked about it. We don't have luck with animals in my house. When I say my house, like back in Ireland, me, my brothers and sisters, like we grew up not having luck with any animals. Because I remember one time, like, when I was a kid growing up in Ireland, and everybody was poor in the 70s and 80s in Ireland. So if you ever had a pet, you didn't go to a store, you didn't buy the pet. There was no pets. The only things they had in pet stores were maybe budgies, like they're birds. Budgies, maybe terrapins, which are illegal, I think, here in America now. Fucking terrapins are illegal because you can get salmonella from them. Who's licking these turtles? Leave the turtles alone. Stop licking these terrapins. Fuck's sake. They're fun pets. They're fun pets. And you know what? If your kid licks a fucking turtle, then there's something wrong with him. Chances are he's going to turn into some sort of weird sexual deviant that's going to hurt. He's better off licking a turtle, right? Let him lick a fucking turtle. But anyway, you had goldfish, turtles, and birds. That was fucking it. There was no dogs in the window. There was no cats in the window. We had no pounds. There was no kennels. Dogs went out at nighttime in packs and they fucked and then they came back again. Cats hid from the dogs that went out and fucked and killed everything. If you wanted, growing up in Ireland, if you wanted a dog or a cat, it either had to wander onto your property, into your back fence, go, all right, well, that's my dog now. Because nobody had dog collars. If you took a dog for a walk, you just tied him to a rope. Like, all right, that's my dog now. Or your neighbour, you had to know a guy that gave away dogs, and they're all mongrels. There was no pure breeds. They're all, or mutts as they call them in America, but mongrels, what they call them throughout Europe. Right, you got this mongrel because fucking it just fucked something else, and the guy woke up one morning with just a box full of puppies. They're like, hey man, you want a dog? Because if not, we're gonna drown him. And that's true. It's not me being cruel. So you're like, I don't need a dog right now. Or they were the only two ways you got an animal. Either wandered into your onto your property, or it got fucked by another dog and your neighbour didn't want all the babies. Kittens or pups. And that's how you ended up with a dog, and you didn't give a shit. You walk in, now he's like, well, I only want a male. I only want a male now. It has to be, you just fucking got what you were given and that was it. But we never had luck, right? Because we had, let me tell you this story. We had two cats when we were growing. Well, and we had a bunch of animals throughout the years, but my sister had two cats that we got, air quotes, got. And my sister was 10. She's the oldest of the girls in my house. She's younger than me. And so I was about 10 or 11. So she was maybe, I think, 7. Like, isn't it bad I don't know my brothers and sisters' ages? Like, I know the order in which we're in, like a Russian doll, but I don't know what the actual ages are. I can all say around. So I'm around 10 or 11. So my sister's probably around 7 years old, right? And so she had two cats. She had a pure white cat called Snowy and a completely black cat called Midnight. Yeah, very fucking creative. Creativity wasn't a strong point in the Thomas household. So Snowy was really sick, wasn't moving, wasn't eating, wasn't drinking. And my ma was a softie for animals, right? As am I. I'm a softie for animals. All the documentaries I watch are on animals. I think animals are way better than people. Way fucking better than people. If we were to follow the rules of animals, we wouldn't have so many fucking, like ants, right? If you go in an anthill and an ant doesn't work or pull its weight, all the other ants go, get the fuck out. Get out. You got no business here. Get out of the hill. You're not contributing to anybody. You're useless. Get out. The women don't want you and the men don't want you around here working. Just get the fuck out. We don't do that, right? We We baby the people. We baby the ones who don't want to work. I'm not saying the ones that can't work, but the ones that don't work, yeah, well, let's write them a check every month. That's fine. Not ants. So I love animals. I love the animal kingdom. I love justice in the animal kingdom. So my mother's like that. My mother's like me, very pro-animal. I'm pro-animal. I'm very anti-animal people. Does that make sense? As in like people who love dogs too much where they put them in a stroller. I'm like, fucking stop. Leave the dog at home. I used to work in a bank. They would come in. I can't stay here. My dog's in the car. I'm pretty sure the dog's not going to drive away, mate. You're fucking fine. So anyway, so my mother takes his cat, Snowy, to the vet. And the vet's like, yeah, look, we gotta, let me just put the cat down. And my mother's like, look, let me take him home. I'll take him home. Let my daughter say goodbye. Let my daughter say goodbye to the cat. And, she say goodbye to the cat. And then I'll take her away to the weekend to my mother's house up in Enniscorthy, County Wexford. I'll take her away. And my husband can bring the cat down when he comes back. When I say comes back, he's a truck driver. So he's on the road 4 days a week. He's on the road 4 days, home for 3 or 4 days, right? So so then all of a sudden she takes the cat down so she brings the cat home. Sorry, I'm losing my place here. I'm watching what's going on around me. She brings the cat home and we break the news to my sister. Like, look, I don't do anything. I'm a fucking 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid. I don't give a shit. I don't care about my sister. So at 10 or 11. So my mother breaks the news to her and she's like, oh no, really? She cries and then she says her goodbyes to Snowy. Goodbye, Snowy, I love you. And oh my God, we had so much fun together. Blah, 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 blah. Typical girl kitten shit, right? So then she leaves. We all leave. My dad gets home. My mother's like, you got to take this cat. Calls him up. You got to take this cat to the vet to get put down. My dad's probably like, what? Fuck? Spent 4 days working. Now I have to come home and put this shit down. I didn't want the cat. I said, don't get the cat. I said don't get the cat because I didn't want to do anything. I know I was told if we can keep the cat, I won't be responsible for it. Now here I am. I got a fucking drag. That's just my dad, right? So my dad gets home mad as all hell. We go away to my grandmother's for the day. It's a lot. It's like at that time was an hour train ride. It's not anymore. It's a 15-minute drive. So it was an hour train ride. So my dad takes the cat down to go to the vet. The vet's office is expecting him, right? Fucking wallop, cat goes down, no problem. We come home, right? So we all had a great time up at my grandmother's, whatever we did. I went fishing, great. We always have a great time up at my grandmother's. We walk into the house, my sister goes right into the kitchen, and all we could hear was, Snowy, you're still alive! My dad brought the wrong cat down to get killed. He probably came home in a bad mood and just went, fucking cat, you come here. He probably couldn't catch her, right? He probably couldn't catch the cat and went, fuck it, you'll do. Brought it down to the vet. The vet's office, it wasn't the same vet there. All the vet had on file was kill Thomas's cat, right? The vet's going to assume that you're bringing in the right cat, right? So my dad's like, yeah, fucking do what you got to do on that. How much is it going to cost me? Fucking put the needle in and fucking my dad killed the wrong cat. 4 days later, we had to bring down the original cat again. 2 cats gone in a week. Fucking hilarious. But I told that story. I told that story the other night at the cat at Governor's. And they didn't like it. They didn't like it. There was like 6 or 7 people at the back that had these big guffaw of laughter. And you could tell that they were dragged to the event. Like they had a girlfriend or a wife. Like, we gotta go save the cats. And he's like, fuck it. Why? Just let's go save them. And he was dragged to the comedy club expecting like not a good time, not a good show. And I think he laughed. These guys laughed so hard at this story because they were like, yeah, fuck the cats. I love cats, man. I love all animals, right? I do. I'm an animal. We had another incident. This is to stay on the topic. I'm sorry for all you animal lovers out there who are not liking these stories, but it's life. It's what happened. I take no joy in it. I'm in the house one Sunday morning and my daughter comes running in. She's like, Dad, oh my God, it's like something's wrong with the rabbit. And I was very shocked because I didn't know we had a rabbit. Like legit. I was like, what? We have a fucking rabbit? So we did, apparently. I went outside and I saw the big rabbit hutch that was there, and I guess I never, so I walk in, and there was a pure white rabbit, and his head was turned all the way around, like the Exorcist, right? Like he looked like he was in pain, the poor thing. Looked like he was like just, like if he could talk, or if rabbits could make noise, it'd be just like, fucking kill me! So I go, holy shit. So I call up this friend, air quotes, of the family who works for a vet. And I go, look, here's what's happened with the rabbit. His head's turned all the way around. It's twisted down the way. It's dragging it along the shitty pellet hay on the bottom of his hutch. And the person goes, who's a vet's assistant, right? A vet's assistant. So she's relaying this stuff back to the vet, because I'm not paying top dollar for the vet. So she goes, oh yeah, the vet says it's one of two things. He either has an ear infection or a stroke. I go, you're fucking, like, what kind of vet, what kind of doctor comes up with those two scenarios, opposite ends of the fucking, like day one of how to fix a rabbit book. If you're at vet school and you got a book, and day one is ear infections, let's start small, right? The end of the semester, the end of the school year, fucking rabbits who have strokes. Like, you gotta fucking pick, like, can you imagine going to the doctors and you walk in during flu season, like you get the sniffles, like, oh doc, I don't feel too good, doc, I don't have an appetite. And the doctor's like, well, it's one or two things. It's either a cold or full-blown AIDS. Right? You would go, fuck me, you don't know anything about your job, doctor, if you are a doctor. So I go, all right, what's going on? So she goes, either way, the rabbit's in so much pain. If it's that type of ear infection, if his head is twisted that far around, it's just in unbelievable pain, and it's going to cost a lot of money to fix it. For drops, for all that kind of stuff. It might need surgery. So I go, all right. He goes, if it's a stroke, so she goes, either way that you're going to have to put the rabbit down. I go, all right, I'll bring the rabbit in. Fuck, how much is this going to cost me? Not a word of a lie, $400. I go, you're fucking mind. I'll give you $400 to fucking just kill a rabbit. I used to go hunting rabbits when I was a kid. We would make snares. My grandfather showed me to make snares. So I go, all right, look, how is it $400? And he go, look, or else you can do it yourself. I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do it myself. She goes, you could shoot it. Shoot it? All right, let me tell you two things. Number one, I don't own a gun. Number two, I'm not fucking Elma Fudd. Here's what the next thing that she said, the vet said. Here's what the next thing the vet says. I swear to God, she said, the vet says, well, you could put it behind your car and quickly reverse over it. A vet said that. A guy who went to fucking veterinary school, college, for God knows how long, he actually said put the rabbit under the wheel and drive over it. Like, all right, kids, in the car, we're going for a drive. Ready? Buckle up. Click, click. Vroom, boom, 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 boom. All right, we're here. The fuck is wrong with you? Fuck me, man. So I put it in a pillowcase and I drowned it in the pond. I did. I'm sorry. I put it in a pillowcase and I drowned it with the pond because I don't have the heart to hit it with something. I genuinely can't justify giving it $400 to put a fucking needle in it. I can't do it. I put it in a pillowcase and I dropped it in my pond. That's what I had to do. I'm sorry if that's upset a lot of you. I'm so sorry. But it's like, fuck it. There's a lot of people, because I think we hold animals at different, like, if I wouldn't do that to a dog, right? Probably wouldn't do it to a cat. I think, like, let's start even higher. If you, like, what's the biggest animal you can have as a pet? Like, all right, if I'm a celebrity, right, I could have a fucking elephant, a giraffe, a lion. Let's come back down. A horse, a donkey, a cow, a goat, dog, cat. That's the line. I couldn't drown any of those things. A deer, couldn't hurt an animal like that, right? I just couldn't do it. Well, once you get below a cat, come on. Like, now you're in rabbits, squirrels. Squirrels are kind of like rats, right? Let's be honest. They've the different tail. It's the only difference between a rat and a squirrel. I think we're in drowning territory, right? Would anyone agree? People drown rats all the time and nobody's got a problem with it. So don't get on your... And then you squash bugs, right? Now we're going down the line again. Now we're squashing bugs, worms. There's germs on your hand. Nobody gives a fuck about germs, right? People will crush ants. Do you ever have ants in your house? You call an exterminator. Fucking ants. So don't get on your high horse. People who don't... All you vegetarians out there... I was a vegetarian for 5 years. Right? You guys kill more animals than anybody. Because you eat so much fucking vegetables. And what happens? The farmer's got to chop all these woodland area down to grow his crops, to put pesticides that kill thousands of animals. If you're a vegan or a vegetarian, and you can look this up, but I'm not just being an asshole. You can look this up right now on any fucking anything at all. They'll tell you that the life lost of an animal is more to feed a vegan than it is for an actual person who eats meat. Look it up. I'm not a liar. That's true. So anyway, I'm allowed to say those horrible things and make it come across mean because I'm grieving. I'm grieving the loss of one of my best friends. My best friend, Sadie. So guys, that's the end of the podcast. I appreciate you listening in. You guys have been great. And where am I? This week coming up, I am on the 18th and the 19th. Or else the 17th. I got to look it up. 18th and 19th, I think it is. I am headlining on the Thursday night. I am headlining the Stress Factory in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And on Friday night, I am opening for the great Artie Lang. Artie's back again. And I am headlining the Late Show. When Artie leaves, Artie's doing one show, and then I'm headlining the Late Show. And then just announced, the week of the 24th, all that week of November, I will be back at the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City, one of my favorite places to perform. So guys, thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate you. Any questions at all, Mick Thomas Comedy on Instagram, send me a message. And I really appreciate you laughing. And, well, I hope you did. And thanks so much for listening. And I will talk to you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye. Good luck to you. This is the Mick Thomas Podcast Show.